Michigan is the ultimate sleeper destination for outdoorsmen. We've got over 4.5 million acres of state land and some of the most incredible freshwater resources the world has to offer. You can fish, hunt, shoot, and do a ton of different outdoor activities that you may not even realize you can do in Michigan. We have what we call our Midwest Mile. It's a 640-acre lease that we use for our deer camp and all sorts of other activities throughout the year. We're going to take you along with us this year as we manage the land to get ready for this year's upcoming deer camp. Join us this year as we prep the property, clearing trees, carving new paths, and setting up lines to get ready for what's surely to be another great deer season. Today I'm going to be walking you through some of the key features of what we'll be using to manage the land this year, HuntStand. If you're not familiar with HuntStand, it's a digital land management platform, both mobile and desktop, that allows you to manage your land, invite friends, and build out your property so that you can effectively hunt and maintain your space. I'm going to be walking you guys through the desktop version of HuntStand, but I will be popping in some mobile screenshots throughout so you can get an idea of what that experience looks like. HuntStand is a mobile-first company, however, the desktop version is great for showing you guys what it is and how it works. So the first thing you're going to want to understand with HuntStand when you log in is that you need to set your new hunt area. One thing to keep in mind is that wherever you set your hunt area up as is what will pop up whenever you open the app or desktop version. So keep that in mind. Your new hunt area should be your main area, your main focus, the spot that you're always going to want to pop back to when you open up or log in to HuntStand. So now that I have my account set up, the first thing that I'm going to do when I get into HuntStand is I'm going to set up the boundaries for my hunt area. This is just a great way to remember where you have to hunt, where you should be scouting within, and what your actual property lines are. Your hunt area will be your specific property boundary. And you can see that I can place a boundary on this and I can name it and add a description within here so that when I do enable this for a group hunt area, which I plan to later, which is actually one of the great features of HuntStand, is that you can have group settings in here. Everyone will know that this is the specific property that we are scouting and prepping and getting ready for deer camp this season. Once you're ready to add friends, you head over to Share Hunt Area and you can add people by email address. What's really nice is that you can add them as an admin, viewer, or member, so you can control the level of access that people have to your hunting location. Before we dive into some of the core features, I wanted to show you what I'll be using this for, which is marking all of our ground blind and tree stand locations. In the top corner, you've got the ability to add a marker, and then you can select which one of the different filtered items will apply to this. You can name it, add a description, change the color of the marker, and even add a photo and video, which is really nice for the other folks that are in your group. This allows you to have kind of a content library of what's happening on your property in real time so that everyone can observe. And then as you're using this, you can then clear filters out and select which items you want to see in real time on your phone or on your desktop, which will allow you to really drill down and dig in on certain specifics of your property and your map. HuntStand offers a free Pro and Pro Whitetail membership. What's really impressive about HuntStand is that they have the industry best price to gain access to this type of map overlay features. They offer 21 different overlays for things like satellite imagery, property ownership information, and hunting lands. For us in Michigan, this is important because we can hunt state land and we have 10,000 acres that abut our lease, so we can tell really easily where people can spill off property if we need some extra space. When you upgrade to Pro Whitetail at $69.99 a year, everything opens up. You gain access to the annual rut map, monthly satellite imagery, detailed crop history layer, national aerial imagery layer, and my favorite, the whitetail habitat layer. You can see here, these heat maps indicate where they estimate whitetail habitats are, and we've actually seen validation from where they show habitat to where we've seen animals coming into our property. One of the coolest features of the Pro Whitetail membership is the access to Whitetail Activity Forecast. This is a 7-day interactive map that will give you peak whitetail movement times, and it's informed by decades of research done by deer biologists, and it gives you an idea about when deer are going to be most active, and it takes over a dozen variables into account when making its forecast. So another cool feature of HuntStand is that you can actually add trail cam photos to the app. So you can go in, add a camera, you add the manufacturer, camera placement, orientation, and you will be able to actually upload your photos. It's not currently set up to integrate with cell cams. However, if you run an SD card in your camera, this will be a perfect option for you. Once you've set your camera up, you can upload photos and actually use HuntStand for species recognition and all the other cool stuff you'd expect from a trail cam service. A few other key features of HuntStand: the ability to track harvest, so you can pin harvest across the property based on species and really start to get an idea of where the best places to hunt on your property have been in the past. You can place sightings, so it may not be a harvest, but you can see animals throughout and you might get a sense of where they're actually passing through your property. And then your hunt zone. So the hunt zone is very cool. You place this around your blind, your tree stand, and it'll give you an indication as to wind direction in your given area. And lastly is the weather. So weather is very important, and the ability to actually see real-time weather data is something that you can do right within HuntStand. We're excited to use HuntStand this year. Go check them out, HuntStand.com. They have 3 different membership options: Pro, Pro Whitetail, and a free version that you can play around with and get a sense of how it works. Overall, this is going to be a really powerful tool for us to manage our property and increase our likelihood of harvesting deer this fall.